One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second generation, motherfuckers.
Edie Don, the Outlaw OG.
Keeping it lit.
Oh, fat. The homeboy ex-con, shout out to Pistola.
Yeah, welcome back to the
Murder
show, gang. This is Detroit Unplugged Radio, your favorite radio show in the world. I'm your humble host, A-Rock, along with Ism. We're going to be with you till about 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you give us a call, 213-943-3784. We're celebrating the second generation Outlawz. And like Patsy Ryder was saying, it's distributed across the world. It's different parts to the machine all over the place. It's a beautiful thing. It's a movement. We believe in the same kind of movement here at Michigan United Broadcast. I want to bring in another weapon from that camp. And you just heard his first joint entitled Polka Dot. He goes by the name of Pistola. Welcome to Detroit Unplugged Radio, my friend.
Yo, what up? How you doing?
Doing well. What's going on with you, fam?
Not much. Just working hard always. Same old,
Man,
same old.
I know that's right. We've been looking forward to this talk for a while, bro. We've been trying to get this interview in. I know you've been super busy, so we appreciate you taking time out to chop it up with us.
Yeah, always.
Man, listen, we're gonna play your music, showcase your craft, but as you know, on Detroit Unplugged Radio, we like to get the story. We love to find out how you came into yours in this industry, how you really fell in love with hip-hop, and the story's important to us because, we really celebrate our culture. So please, let's start at the very beginning. Let's take a walk back through time, if you will, and take us back to when you really fell in love with hip-hop.
Well, when I first fell in love with hip hop, so I come from a family of musicians. My grandpa, he performed at President Eisenhower's inauguration whenever he became president. And
nice.
My dad, my grandpa, my dad, and my uncle, they all had bands all up through the Bay in California. So they were involved in the Mexican Revolution. They had my grandpa, my dad, and my uncle, they had was involved in teaching the youth how to play instruments. They taught a lot of youth how to play instruments in California back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So I grew up around all that kind of, music and all that. My brothers, they were into a different style of music than my family was, so they was always listening to the rock or the Sugar Hill Gang and all that. So, I heard the first rap I ever heard was the Sugar Hill Gang. And ever since then, I've always liked rhyming, like poetry, because I've always wrote poetry anyway. So anything that had to do with poetry, which is hip-hop, I was into it.
Hell yeah. Listen, that's kind of when I fell in love with it, too, so I can respect it, man. Back in the good old days, man. After that, like the Houdini days, you know what I mean? After that.
Back when hip-hop was fun, everybody was partying. All you cared about was creasing up your jeans and how sharp you looked when you went out.
You were damn right, bro. I loved it, man. I was right there in the mix of it here in Detroit. Beautiful thing. Listen, well, that's what's up. Listen, I want to know, tell us about that first time when you ever, got on stage and rocked the crowd, man. A really packed venue, man, and tell us about the whole experience and how it felt and how that adrenaline really felt for the first time.
Yeah, the first time, I never even took hip-hop seriously. At first, it was like I said, it was a hobby for me. It was a craft. So when I was in high school, we used to have those, we'd go home, write a little verse or whatever, 16 bars. We'd go to school the next day. Everybody would spit their shit and then see who had the tightest rhyme. So I was always involved in them kind of battles. The first time I ever performed was at a place called Club Casanovas here in Oklahoma City. And I got on stage, and back then there wasn't a lot of Latinos doing hip-hop, so I was the first one. So I got on stage. I was real nervous. I had to drink like 2 40s just to get on stage. But then, I got up there and I loosened up a little bit, and the crowd was feeling me there like, man, we ain't never heard no Latino rap the way you do, man. You sound like a brother. I'm like, yeah. So ever since then, I started getting in the studios, and everybody was inviting me to the studios, wanting me to record with them. So I started doing that, and it just became that was a hobby still then. I never thought I'd be doing it seriously, as a career. It was just, cool to have your own music, pumping in your car, rolling down the street, hitting your switches, whatever.
Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful thing. I remember those days, and that takes me back just talking about it. Me too. How is tell me, man, how is the hip-hop scene out there in Oklahoma?
Oh, it's real deep out here in Oklahoma. I mean, there's a lot of talent out there. It's just the old, this newer generation, there's a lot of hating going on, and there ain't nobody really getting together or grouping up like we used to back in the day.
It's about unity, man. That's what we're missing in it.
It's always been about. You know, when I was first doing hip hop, every rapper knew each other, every producer knew each other. But nowadays, it's like, you know who? Oh yeah, fuck that motherfucker. I'm like, damn, what beef you got with him?
Pistola, listen, ego took over, unfortunately. You know what I mean? It's an unfortunate thing, but it is what it is. Ego took over, so now we got to bring it back. Now it's left up to people like you, and to people like me, and to people like Patchy, people like Ism. You know, we got to make it happen. We gotta create this unity again, this global family to move forward in this industry. And there's enough money for us all to share. Let's just help each other, utilize each other's resources, and support each other to the hilt. And that's certainly what it's all about, my friend. I know you feel the same way.
Yeah, that's what Second Generation Outlawz is about. We're about unity. We want everybody unified. You know, it ain't about who's the tightest rapper. It's about, you know, who putting in the most work or who got the most, you know, positivity going on in the streets and talk to these kids and get some things going to where, you know, they can get some education, because nobody's educating us when we were younger, but we got more knowledge nowadays than they did back then. So we could tell people about how to keep from getting beat up by police or don't join gangs, you know, just do your own thing. Still be a thug, you can still be a tough guy without being in a set.
Yeah, there's no doubt. No one takes your tough guy card. You apply all that to hip hop, and great things happen. Yep. Ooh wee, I love it. Listen, let's do this, man. I got a couple cool questions after the break, but welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is Detroit Unplugged. I'm A-Rock. This is Ism.
Yeah.
We got Pistola live on the line with us. Second Generation Outlawz. What up, though?
Shit, chilling. Just listening to you guys like every day I do.
Man, we appreciate you, fam. It's certainly a support system. You know, we support everything you do, and I know that same thing, you support us as well.
Yeah. For any independent artists, independent labels, stations, all that.
Man, I could talk about that for an hour. I want to ask you a particular question. Listen, man, I want to ask you a question that we ask all the guests that come on Detroit Unplugged Radio. And keep in mind, my friend, we love the stories. That's what we love to collect, bro. That's what makes it all worth it for myself and Ism. If you were to name one time in your career thus far that you're always going to hold close to your heart. Now, it could be a live show. It could be a freestyle cipher, whatever the case may be. What would that one time be?
The one time that I hold close to my heart would be back whenever Tupac was with Digital Underground, when he was just a dancer before he was a rapper. You know, I was blessed to get to meet him. And that's actually one of the reasons why I started doing hip-hop for real, because, you know, he did the show out here with Digital Underground and Public Enemy, and one of my friends knew some guys that were, you know, working at the show, whatever, so we went to the after party over there at the hotel where Pac and all them was at. So we're sitting there drinking, you know, we're hanging out, chilling, we're freestyling with each other, and that's when I first realized that, you know, me and Pac had the same birthday. Because, you know, we were sitting there freestyling. You guys got the same birthday? Yeah, we were sitting there freestyling, and we had similar styles. Like, we sound like each other. So he was like, "Damn, bro, you got my style." I was like, "Yeah, well, I guess it's just the Gemini." And he was like, "Oh, you Gemini?" And he asked what my birthday was. I told him. He said, "Yeah, mine's June 16th too." I was like, "Dang, I guess we closer than we think." He said, "Yeah, we kindred." You know, but even when I met him, he had that, you know, even when he was just a dancer, he had that wow factor of him, just the way he talked and his knowledge and how smart he was. It was always just that wow factor just to hear him speak. Yeah.
He had, you know what, we were talking about it with Patchy, he had that cadence. You know what I mean? He didn't need any backup, you know, any hype men, anyone in the background. He could go on a stage by himself and just have that cadence to create a beautiful show and a beautiful presentation. And that's what his craft was. That was one of his very many crafts. So, man, that's a beautiful
his freestyle
story.
Interviews, like whenever he does interviews, just his freestyle alone, he can like go through a whole interview and won't mess up at all, period. Like, you ain't got to cut nothing out.
No, it's just a rap. Whatever he spits is just going to be a go. It's just going to be a green light. And he was made for it, bro. He was built for it. And, you know, that was in his blood. He got that. And that's what's got to be respected. We got to make sure that we carry on his spirit and we move forward like we were talking about before in global unity, man. It's not very many people we could talk to that had that kind of contact with such a legend. So thank you so much for the story.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the here and now. Like, you know, we want to know about, you know, 2016, like the Second Generation Outlawz, 2GO Digital. Really, man, the camp is all doing great things. But give us a projection of Pistola and what you got going on, really what you anticipate, any releases, and seriously, just let my folks know how they can support you in any way.
Yeah, so what we got going is, like I said, we're starting this revolution back up. You know, we got to pick back up where Park left off. So we're pretty much doing everything that he started for us. Like, you know, I got a campaign called Eracism. That's going to be the name of our first tour as well. Eracism. You know, we're going to try to erase racism. And, you know, unity is where the key is, because if people realize,
I fucking love it.
They've been separating us for years, and that's one of the reasons why we can't be strong, because, you know, you got white folks hating black hating white, Mexican hating white, you know, too much hating going on, and that keeps us divided.
Right.
Yeah, it's dumb. So if we could drop the labels and let everybody realize we all in the same boat, you know, everybody getting, you know, fucked up by the government, everybody wants to be truly free, but in America, no matter what color you are, you ain't never going to be truly free until we get rid of all that bullshit.
That's right. And that's what it is. And it's all about unity, man. If we get, you know, with power in numbers, man, you know what I mean? We just got to make sure that we keep that message strong and we support each other. Like, you know, we've been talking about it all night. It certainly is a beautiful thing, bro.
Yeah. So, you know, along with the tour, you know, Eracism, that's going to hopefully that will start opening, at least if it opens up one person's eyes and gets people talking about it and realize to hug your neighbor, and click with them and realize what you actually got in common, which is, you know, freedom, liberty, and justice. You know, that's what everybody has in common, and we can all come together and make this one big circle of, you know, fuck you to the government or whatever. I mean,
it gets deep, bro. I love it. I mean, we got your back 100%, dude. Anything we can ever do to help you out. You were the whole, you know, we told Patchy the same thing. Just let us know, because we're in it for the same reasons. So certainly we consider you guys family, man, and really anything we can do, just let us know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if anyone wants to follow the page, you just type in Eracism, Eraciz instead of an S and an M, Eracism. Type it in on Facebook, you know, you'll pull up the page, you can follow it, you know, keep in touch with what we're doing, write your own posts and give us ideas.
Now, if you know, we always encourage our listeners as well, brother, to support. You know, if you got a dope T-shirt, you know what I mean? You know, we encourage that our listeners support you in any way. So, is there any other social media outlets, or if you do features or anything of that nature, maybe put out a contact to where you know, my listeners can explore that?
Yeah, if they want to go onto any of my pages, just type in Google 45 Pistola, all one word, 45 and then Pistola. It'll pull up all my social media sites, my Facebook, my Rebirth, you know, everything. And I also got another campaign I started too. It's called RACA, Rappers Against Child Abuse. So we're doing that one too, to try to get the youth, you know, involved in, get all the rappers involved in the youth, like Pac wanted it, you know, with 50, you know, artists in every state. If we had one artist in every state that would represent RACA, and we can get people to donate, and it can be an organization that every person in the city can use this one campaign. You know, use this one campaign to get something started in your city. Don't worry about the whole United States. Just worry about your city. Do positive things with the name RACA, you know, and get some things going for the children, you know, some civic centers, some whatever.
That's a beautiful thing, man. You know, it just, a lot of great causes. You know what I mean? I see, you know, just talking to Patchy and now you, bro. I mean, there's a lot of unity and a lot of, you know, a lot of family, man. A lot of great morals, man. That's what I love. You know, that's how hip-hop was created, bro, on those great morals. And when music started pushing God out of, when it started pushing God out of hip-hop, that was a horrible thing. So we need to make sure that we keep this greatness on the forefront. Listen, Pistola, you certainly are one of the sharpest weapons, my friend. We appreciate your craft. And if there's anything we could do for you in the future, bro, don't hesitate. Stay in contact with us.
Oh, most definitely.
Listen, we appreciate you.
Listening into all the stations.
Man, my brother, man, we appreciate you. We'll talk real soon.
All right.
Peace. Listen, folks, Pistola, in that second generation Outlawz, and you heard it. We're real proud of him. He's a hard worker, and everything he represents is just great. We're real proud of what he's doing in their whole movement. So we're in full support. Anything we can do, they know they don't have to hesitate. Just ask. It's done. Give us a call. We got 15 minutes left with you. We're here to celebrate hip-hop at its very finest. 213-943-3784. That's the call-in number. I'm your favorite Uncle Rocky. This is Ism. Give us a call.
1,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second generation, motherfuckers.
Edie Don, the Outlaw OG.
Keeping it lit.
The homeboy ex-con, shout out to Pistola.